Okay friends, so yesterday we worked with the letters A, B, and C, and then we practiced combining them. Today we're going to work with D, E, F, and G. F can be a little tricky, so make sure that you are practicing that extra. Let's start with the letter D. So print D looks like that, and a cursive D actually looks very similar. All you have to do is slant it a little and add a tail. So I'm going to start at the midpoint on the right side, and I'm going to go around, slight slant, go up, follow that same line down, and end with the tail. Okay? Again, you want to make sure that it is slightly slanted and that the tail does not go too high. I'm going to practice a row of D's. I'm going to find the one that I think is best and cross off the one that I don't think is correct. Okay, moving on to E. A print E looks like this. A lowercase e is actually really simple. It doesn't really look like an E, but it's super important to do it the correct way because it can easily be confused with an L, which we will learn a little bit later. So a lowercase e, you're going to start on the left side at the base. The baseline, go up to the midpoint and make a little loop. It kind of looks like a slanted E, slanted towards the left. Gotta make sure that you're not making it too tall and that it's not like a big circle like the D, it's just a small little loop. Oops. I'm gonna make a row of E's. It looks like I already crossed out my worst one. I'm gonna select my best one. I think this one is my best one. Okay, F. F is a little bit challenging. So, a regular print F, you actually do have to pick up your pencil for because there's two parts. And F in cursive actually goes below the baseline. So, this is super important. Pay attention. You're going to start at the left. You're going to go up about halfway through and make a loop similar to an E. You're going to go below the baseline, make another loop, and end it like this. I'm going to do that again, nice and slow. Starting at the left side of the baseline, going up a little past the midpoint, small loop, down below the baseline, slightly larger loop, and then end with the tail. One of the most common things that I see is making the loops too big. If you notice, these are not perfect circles. They're more like on the left side, they're kind of straight, and on the right side, they're rounded. If you're doing something like that, that is not correct. This one takes quite a bit of practice. So I am actually going to do 2 rows of F's. Shouldn't go down that far. I'm going to select my favorite one. I have a few. I like this one. I like this one. I'm going to cross off the ones that aren't quite right. Okay, now that we have D, E, F, we're going to move on to D. D is slightly easier. A regular lowercase g looks like this. In print, a D in cursive, you're going to start on the right side at the midpoint and make a loop. And you're going to follow that same line down below the midpoint with a little loop. That one a little bit further than it should, and then it ends with a tail. Again, make sure that tail does not go up too high. Try that again. And those are my D's. Okay, at this point, we should know A through G. I'm going to practice putting some of those letters together. Let's see, I can do, let's do D, E, and G. I know that doesn't make a word, but we're going to just practice putting those together. So D, E, and G I said, I believe. So I'm going to start with my D. That tail is going to be the beginning of my E. That tail is going to be the beginning of my D, and that's how it would end. A little bit quicker. Okay, let's do G, E, and B. Okay, so my suggestion for you is, since we've learned A through G, practice all of them separately. Definitely practice that F, and practice putting them all together in different combinations. It doesn't have to be real words. We'll get to that at some point. Practice putting them together without picking your hands up.